A lot of people are drawn to sales because sales offers an unlimited income, theoretically, an unlimited income. But a lot of people get burned out in sales relatively quickly. That's because no matter how much you know the product, no matter how well you present the product, you still have to close the customer. And the way most salespeople do this, when they try to close the customer, it's almost kind of a confrontation. My idea versus your idea. And if you've ever been in sales, you know that the best salespeople have this kind of alpha, I'm king of the jungle mindset, because it does feel really good when you have an idea battle with a customer and you convince them to buy the product and they relent and buy the product. It feels really good. You get a massive burst of adrenaline. But this is something that's not really sustainable because a lot of even top salespeople get burned out over time because this is a kind of a high stress closing technique. And this is why the best salespeople are naturally charismatic, naturally have ultra thick skin, and are a little bit sociopathic in their personality. But back when I sold cars and when I sold solar heating systems and I sold insurance and I sold other stuff, I found out that the best closers, the closers that could close consistently at high rates, didn't have that high pressure attitude. They had a much different attitude. They would close in a kind of mindset of abundance. If you have a mindset of abundance, if you have memories of sales in the past, if you have an expectation, a legitimate expectation of sales in the future, you're not going to be too concerned with the person you're talking to because you'll see the big picture. But if you're stressed, if you have a scarcity mindset and you super very much need the sale, you're going to be high pressure. But the way to close people in this very laid back environment, at least how I learned from these guys, is you just say, hey, Mr. Customer, you said you wanted XYZ. Our product has XYZ. It looks like it's a good match. What do you think? And then you just let the customer make the decision. And the implication is, the presupposition is, if you buy the product, cool. If you don't buy the product, no big deal because I've got a lot of other customers. And the way this, or the reason this works so well, is because it implies both scarcity and social proof. The social proof is kind of obvious because if you're super low key, if you're like, hey, if you want to buy the product, cool. If not, no big deal. That presupposes you've got a whole lot of other customers. It's kind of like if you're out talking to the ladies and you have a whole bunch of numbers in your phone and you could pretty much call anybody and get a date really quickly. You're not going to be that concerned with any one particular girl that you're talking to. But it also implies scarcity because if you're really high pressure, I really need to get the sale, please buy the product, the customer is going to kind of get the kind of suspicion that they are very important and you're going to do whatever you can. There's a massive abundance of you. But if you're super laid back, hey, this is what we got, this is what you want, it just seems like a match. I don't know if it works for you or not, but what do you think so? That it implies that you're not going to try really hard. It's kind of like a presuppositional one-time offer. Like, hey, if you want to buy it, cool. If not, I got other people to talk to. It closes the window on the conversation kind of metaphorically and presuppositionally. So when you combine scarcity and social proof in this laid-back close, you'll have a lot more flexibility in the conversation. You'll be able to relax more in the conversation. And it paradoxically significantly increases your closing rates. Because even though you're having the conversation for a specific reason, even though you'd like to sell something, even though you'd like to get a phone number from somebody, if you have a mindset of abundance, it doesn't really matter if this particular conversation ends in an outcome that you'd like. So you can just relax and enjoy the conversation. This is kind of like the metaphor, the forest and the trees. The forest is the entirety of your sales career or your seduction career with all the successful outcomes. The tree is the person you're talking to right now. If you focus on the one tree and you forget the forest, that will cause problems. But if you take a step back and you always appreciate the vast forest that exists in your past and in your future, you can be very laid back. And when you are laid back in the conversation, conversation, then you can just relax and enjoy the conversation. You can relax and playfully use hypnotic language patterns. You can relax and become curious about their mental maps. You can relax and become curious about their desire maps and build out their desire maps as big as you can. Build out their ambition maps as big as you can. Build out their agency maps as big as you can. And the people that I've taught this to, the clients and customers and students that I've taught this to, that have used this laid back approach, have had much more success both in dating and in sales. And when you can make a lot of money in sales, without a lot of effort, without a lot of stress, that's a good place to be.